Okay, so let's look at question 9 in the higher Unit 1 Specimen 2 NAB. Solve root 2 tan 2x equals 1 for values between 0 and 180. So the first thing to do here is to rearrange this to try and get tan 2x is equal to a value. So divide through by root 2. You've got a calculator, so just do that and you will get 0.707 so on. I would keep that number in your calculator, and then I want to find the relative acute angle for this. So I need to inverse tan 0.707. Leave the 2x alone at this moment in time. Just try and find the relative acute angle for the first quadrant. So inverse tan 0.707, and that comes to 35.26. And then you need to look at where tan is positive here. So I draw out my all sign tan cross or my cast diagram, whichever way you've learnt it. And I think tan's positive in the all quadrant and the tan quadrant. So the first solution is as is, and the second solution is forwards 180 degrees from here. Now in this case, instead of writing x equals, this is where the 2x comes in. Some people try and deal with that 2x too early, but it's here where you write 2x is equal to 35.26 or 2x is equal to 180 plus 35.26. Now, in some questions what you need to do is you need to double up the 0 to 180 and so on and get all your answers in 2 times this domain here. Now in this case we don't need to, because that's usually for values, if you're trying to work all the values out between 0 and 360, there'll be 4 values to get. We only have 2 values between 0 and 180, so we don't actually have to do that here. You could do it and then discount it when you divide through by 2. But I'm just going to work the first 2 answers out like this. I'm going to forget about the 2 on ahead because they'll be out with the domain anyway. Okay, so just divide this by 2 and you can get 17.63. This comes to 215.26, then half it, and you get 107.63. There's your 2 answers. Okay, question 10 turns to recurrence relations. So a sequence is defined by the recurrence relation u of n plus 1 equals mu of n plus c, where m and c are constants. We know what u1, u2 and u3 are. We've got to find the recurrence relation and then use it to find the value of u of 6. So the type of question this is a simultaneous equation question. If we can replace u of n plus 1 with u of 2 and replace u of n with this, u of 1, then we can set up an equation. Let's do that first. So putting the negative 10 in as u of n plus 1, because that's the second term, and the term before is 50, so putting that in u of n plus c gives our first equation. Then we can repeat the process, saying u of 3 is this one here, and the one before is u of 2, we can place that in there. So negative 22 here, and negative 10 in here. And we've got our 2 equations, equation 1 and equation 2. Now these are dead easy simultaneous equations because we're always going to have this c value here, so we just subtract them to cancel out the c values. So 1 take away 2 is going to give you c take away c, which is 0. 50 take away negative 10, which is 50 plus 10, which is 60. And negative 10 plus 22, so it's take away negative 22, gives you 12. Now don't get careless here and think the answer is 5. 6 times 5 is not 12. Divide 12 by 60 and you get 0.2. Okay, all we want to do now is substitute 0.2 into either of those equations. I'm going to sub it into equation 1. So that's going to look like this. Negative 10 equals 50 times 0.2 plus c. Do this calculation and we get 10 plus c. That's just a fifth of 50. And then take away the 10 to give you c as negative 20. So I've now worked out my recurrence relation. I know this value is now 0.2 and I know that's a takeaway 20, so I'm going to write that down here. And the last task was to find out the value of u of 6. Now I already know u of 3, so I'm going to kick in and just work out u of 4. So u of 4 is equal to 0.2 times whatever u of 3 was, negative 22, and then I take away 20, and that comes to this. I'm going to fire that back round, so u of 5 equals 0.2 times that answer, take away 20, negative 24.88, fire it round once more, u of 5 equals 0.2 times that new answer, take away 20 gives you this.